I love me some Stalker. I've been playing Stalker games since I was a freshman in high school. Given I'm 28 now, I'll let you do the math. Now, I have a confession to make. I've never actually beat Shadow of Chernobyl, which I know probably makes me a fake fan, but I still have 128 hours in that game on Steam. Almost all of it is the early to mid-game sections, though. I simply find great enjoyment in building up my arsenal from scratch. The thing that always had me quitting, though, is that I simply found the latter sections of the game kind of unfun, especially the Miracle Machine and Lab X-19. Now, these two sections involved entering secret laboratory spaces to disable a big-ass psi emitter that'll kill you if you get anywhere close without adequate protection. The Miracle Machine is easy enough to cheese, given that most of your opposition is mutants. Sure, a controller may give you a little trouble, but most of the enemies are still stuck within melee range, making it pretty easy to just Sonic the Hedgehog your way through the entire thing. Lab X-19 in Shadow of Chernobyl seems about the same. You get in, you have 2-3 bloodsuckers to deal with, then you turn it off. The hard part, though, comes when the lab is suddenly swarmed with monolith as you're attempting to leave, which is a lot fucking harder to run past. Now, this leads me to the point of this video. I recently started up a new game of Stalker Anomaly with the Gamma mod pack. I've installed a few extra mods on top of this, such as a female player character, a additional weapons add-on, and I've enabled the Black Market add-on as well. I got my hand on advanced tools, fixed up some decent weapons, gotten myself a medium armor set, so I consider myself decently kitted. My new issue: I want to get expert tools. If I want to repair up an exoskeleton or have any of the most powerful weapons in the zone, I'm gonna need the best toolkit that I can get my hands on. The issue is that expert tools only spawn in the northern parts of the zone, forcing me to face the Stalker Anomaly version of Lab X-19. Now, what makes this version much, much worse is that the monolith are already there when you arrive. Not just that, but you have a time limit to get to the end and disable the machine. Things start rather quietly. I take a quick moment to get my bearings before remembering that, oh, there's a timer, actually. I double time it down the next hallway. There, I encounter my first enemy, one who happens to be facing away from me. It is unfortunately here where I realize I am completely unprepared. My bullets bounce off the back of this man's helmet, and he turns and fires on me before I gun him down in a burst of full auto fire. I should have brought more AP rounds, I think to myself. I quickly loot the body and look over my inventory when I'm suddenly fired on by surprise. I take down my attacker, take a breather, and wisely make the decision to load the AP rounds I have on hand. Into the next room, I take down one monolith before his friend rounds the corner and brutally ends my life. Great start so far. Alright, let's start over. No getting my bearings, just straight down the hallway. Get a clean kill on the first guy, don't get ambushed, take down the guys in the next room with brutal efficiency. Okay, maybe this won't be so bad after all. I'm not gonna mince words. I fucking hate this next room. Only way to approach is a long hallway where the only cover is the corner you just turned from. As I approach, I am peppered, but thankfully not killed. It doesn't really matter though, because after an extended gunfight, because they just keep fucking coming, I am finally killed. This repeats 8 more goddamned times. Pure numbers aside, there's a monolith in cover at the far side of the room with a Galil. I know at least 2 of my deaths were from him, possibly more. Unfortunately, the 7.62x51 round is just too damn powerful. It just punches right through my medium armor. Thankfully, on try number 8, we finally move on. It's here that I realize I have a new problem. I've brought over 200 rounds of 5.56 FMJ, but because of how many rounds I'm having to put into every monolith soldier, I'm burning supplies fast. I begin finding myself using my pistol and trying to get cheeky headshots, often needing 2 rounds. This trend continues for the rest of the lab. Slowing down though and getting these careful shots is starting to cost me. I suddenly make a horrifying realization as I get down to level 2. I only have 2.5 minutes before my brain is fried, so I double time it. I use up almost all of my remaining 5.56 rounds spraying down soldiers in my way before I make it to the final few rooms. Here I'm forced to swap to my pistol again because reloading would just take too long. I'm able to put down a monolith soldier in a Seva suit in a single headshot. Seeing a heavier troop in the next room, I pull out my Saiga, loaded with a single AP slug. I fire, and he goes down in a single shot. This gives me a straight line to the control room. I rush to the control panel, panicking and fumbling a bit as I've hit just below a minute left on the clock. Then, finally, I breathe a sigh of relief. Still, I mentally prep myself, make a hard save, and prepare to spend the next half hour fighting my way back out, only to realize that nobody has come. I swear I've gotta be misremembering something here, because I could have sworn in older versions of Anomaly, monolith reinforcements come in as you're leaving, but there's nobody. I'm left to walk out calmly and quietly. And you know what? I deserve it after that room I died 8 times. Well, thank you all for watching. This was just a random idea I had one day. Don't ask me why I decided to make a little documentary about clearing my most dreaded part of every Stalker playthrough, but I did. Thank you to Rose for letting me use her music as background for my narration. Love you, honey. Bye, I guess.